You don't need a green screen. You need this Canva overlay. It's a game changer. Hi there, I'm Betsy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a custom filter in Canva, perfect for your Zoom background, especially when you want your natural background to shine through while keeping that branded look. If you just watched my last video on 7 Zoom tips to improve backgrounds and effects, this is the perfect next step because now you can design your own custom overlay to match your brand. And if you need it, the link is in the description. We'll keep it super easy and beginner friendly. So whether you're a Canva newbie or a pro, you'll walk away with something you can actually use. And I'm showing you how to add it to Zoom as well. Let's go take a look. All right, so it starts here on the Canva homepage. And specifically, we're going to look for a Canva template that is made specifically for Zoom backgrounds so that when we make the custom filter, it's the right size. So starting here on templates, just type a keyword that pertains to what you want to search for, and Canva will give you all the templates. For instance, like, let's look for Zoom backgrounds. And then you can see in the results, it gives you some other opportunities to search for other things. We're just going to do a simple search and just press enter. So the templates that come up on the screen are all different styles, colors, some with photos, some not, and you get to pick the one that you want. And what I would recommend is you pick something pretty close to what you want, and you'll do this so quickly, you'll be amazed. And don't worry, you can actually change some of the colors. So if you like the style, pick that one. I'm going to show you how to do that right now with this one in the first row, and we're going to change some of the coloring, and then we're going to add my logo, which you can do as well. I want you to notice, though, in the bottom right corner of each of the designs, sometimes it shows you this little crown symbol, and it represents a design that is only available if you have Canva Pro, which is the paid version. So if you don't have the paid version at this time, then don't pick this one, but you can still follow along. And why don't you scroll down and find one maybe in the third row? You can see right there, you've got a similar one, and you can add your logo to that. It just doesn't have as many of the designs maybe or similar designs, but you can make it your own, and that doesn't have the crown symbol. So that would be a best practice for you to follow along with your free version. And if you need more help with this, join me in my collective community where I teach Canva. It's so much fun. Oh, and the link is in the description. All right, so once you click the design that you're working on, Canva opens it up in this larger window so you can see a little more details about it. But in order to get going, you've got to click that purple button. Customize this template. In your Canva design, notice that there are elements in the corners. At least this one, the one that you picked, it might just have a photograph in the background. What I would tell you to do is just give the design a single click. Just click on it, and you will see this purple frame appear, which clues you into the elements of the design. Again, not going to go into all the details of Canva right now. However, you'll pick up just by single clicking on what elements are on the design. And I would tell you, just single click, don't double click, and definitely single click on all the things you see. As you see I'm doing here, there are elements that are in the corners as well as in the background. And that'll just give you a little bit of information about what you have on the screen to use. If for any reason you click or drag something and you feel like you've made it a mistake, there is an undo button in the top left corner, and you just click that and it puts it back. It's a great way to get started with the overlay and get it done really quick. And if you're an advanced user at this point and you're like, I didn't even know I could create a filter overlay for Zoom using Canva, well, follow along. You're going to see in a few minutes, you're going to get it done. Now, to match our brand, I'm going to bring in my logo. And in Canva, that's located in the brand kit. So I click on brand on the left sidebar, and then scroll down to where my logos are. And I'm going to pick one of the logos that I want to show up in the specific color and style that would fit this overlay. Now, Canva puts that logo as an element. This is a graphic element on the screen, and it puts it in a specific size. And I don't want it right there in the center because in my overlay on Zoom, the center needs to be reserved for me because I'm going to be sitting in the middle of this rectangle on Zoom as you're seeing me right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to size the graphic using the corners. You can see those circles in the corners. And when you put your pointer on a circle, it changes to a double-headed arrow. And that's how how you size it. So you just click and hold with your mouse pointer and drag inward, and it lets you make it smaller. Once you get it smaller or about to the size you want, then you're going to drag it up to the top. Now, if you see it pop in like that, it just thinks that you want to put it as the background. And if you release your finger, just go up and hit that undo button. If you had released your finger on the mouse, and then just go again. If you drag off the screen, then it puts it there. Now, without getting it as the background, just drop it a little bit off the screen, and then you're going to actually use the arrow pointers on your keyboard. Great hack. If ever you're trying to move an item into place, you could either tap the arrows on your keyboard or press and hold them, and it will move it into place. It's great because sometimes that mouse doesn't always get it exactly where you want it, or it goes a little too quickly and you can't get it back. Now, to match my brand, I have that logo with a pop of pink in it. And so I want these diamonds in the corners to match. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click one of those diamonds. You can see right there, you can see the little purple box that's around it. And then up at the top is a toolbar with tools that allows me to change the color. And that circle icon in the middle is what I'm going to use to see the color palette on the left side of the screen. Now, a little bit ways down in the color sidebar with all the different colors I can pick from, I could estimate and pick something that looks like pink, but if I wanted exactly the matching color from the photo or logo that I added, Canva has this section which says photo colors, and I'm just going to pick the pink from there. Now, notice at the bottom of the screen on the left sidebar, it does say change all. So if you wanted to change everything on the screen that had that black color to the pink, then you could say change all. Actually, I have that because in the other corner of the design, I have the same element. So watch. And just like that, with one click, everything that had that other color, whether it was black or brown or navy or green or whatever it was, and you were changing it to your branded color, everything on the screen changes. Sometimes, though, you don't want to change everything. So that way you would just click on each element and repeat what I just taught you by picking the color. If you want to change your mind, you can. You can pick that design again and go back up to the color picker. And then on that left sidebar, choose something else. So in this example, I'm going to go for the bigger diamond to be the darker blue, and then I'm going to change the elements around the corners to be the pink. In order to make this background transparent, one of the steps you'll need is to detach any photos that were placed by Canva in the template. So you're just going to right click there, and in the menu, pick detach image. That image right there is a graphic, so you can delete it with the delete key on your keyboard. The other thing you'll want to do is this iconic, descriptive little cloud with the blue sky and the grass. Well, that's a frame, and you want to delete that too. So you're going to right click, and then you're going to delete that in the menu. Now, it leaves you with this pink background. And as I explained earlier, there's two steps to making this transparent. One of them is to remove the background. And as you'll see coming up, you'll need a pro account to do that in Canva. So if you know right here that you're watching and you have a free Canva account, just go ahead and delete the background when you see that colored background there. Just right click. So that was like 3 right clicks to get it like this, so that right now you don't have any photo in the background. And if anything, you will have a white background when you save it from Canva. And then we're done. The next step is to get the design out of Canva so that I can place it on my screen here in Zoom. This part is extremely important because you'll notice that on the screen in Canva, the background is solid. It's either a photo or it's a solid color. And we don't want that in Zoom. We want to be able to, on Zoom, to see through to our natural background. And that's what makes it an overlay. It's laying on top of your live video thumbnail. So the next step is to get it out of Canva and into Zoom. However, this step is so important because the background in Canva is solid. It's either a photo or it has a solid color background. And when you want it here in Zoom, you want it to have a transparent background so that you can see your natural background behind you. And it gives you that natural overlay feel, which is why it's called a filter overlay. So here's the very important step. you're going to click on share in the top right corner, and that gives you the share menu. There are a lot of options here. And if you're learning Canva, just follow along with me because there are so many exciting ways that you can use designs in all different ways, even print. You can do that here in Canva too. But for today, you're going to click on download, and that gets it out of Canva. However, you must specify that it has a transparent background when it's downloaded. So Canva is going to take this design, it's going to save it to your computer, and it's going to remove that solid background. But you'll notice here that there's that little crown symbol, and that means that only pro users of Canva have this capability. So where does that leave free Canva users? Well, I've got a great tip for you, and that's coming up next. Once you click download, the file that you've downloaded is saved as a graphic file in your downloads folder. You will see it in your browser. You'll see it in your browser download list, but you must go to your downloads folder on your computer to locate it. You'll also see here on the Canva screen that it shows you this box in the bottom right corner, and it is giving you some other things about public view links. And those are other things about Canva that we talk about in my collective where I teach there every week. So this is just giving you a status right now. You can see at the top, I've downloaded multiple things so far, and it's telling me the status, whether it's still in progress or whether it's completed. Now, here's that fantastic hack for free users of Canva. How are you going to download and get that background transparent? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to choose share, and then you're going to choose download. And because you don't have Pro, you're going to download the file as a PNG, and it's going to have the background. That's step one. So let's do that. And you'll see that it's in progress just for a few seconds. Once it's finished, I want you to go to a great tool called Remove BG. So you just go to this free tool. We put the link in the description for you. And you'll see right there in the center of the screen is a button that says Upload Image. Go ahead there and then search for the image that you just downloaded from Canva. And after a few seconds, you'll see it wipes the screen like magic. And this file now can be saved to your computer without the background. To do this, click the download button in the bottom right corner. And then for the free version of Remove BG, just click Preview. So at this point, you've got the design created in Canva. We saved it without the background, or you used a free tool to remove the background. And now we're going to take that filter overlay like this and put it into your Zoom account so that you can use it on the screen. So here we are in Zoom at your Zoom web portal at zoom.us. And on the left-hand side of the screen there, we've come all the way down to your admin section. Now take note here, this is for paid users of Zoom, meaning you've got a Zoom Pro account and it's roughly $13 a month if you paid annually, and you want your Zoom account branded for your business. If you don't have a paid Zoom account yet and you're working with a free Zoom account, then at this point, you want to think of this overlay that you've just created as your virtual background, because you'll only be able to make it clear like this as an overlay if you have a paid account. All free Zoom account users will do is use your logo, so nice, as your virtual background. All right, so let's continue here in our admin section, and you'll see on the right-hand side, I am all the way down in the advanced section. And I teach a lot of this in my Zoom courses on how to set up all of this up before your Zoom meeting even starts. And all of these settings are located in your account, unbeknownst to you sometimes. So it's a good idea to come take a look here before you even start a Zoom meeting. And we get all the way down here under where it says virtual backgrounds. And then there's a section here that says video filters. And I want you to go ahead and click Manage Custom Video Filters. In the box that appears, it'll list the filters that you're using already, or you can choose files if you don't have any yet and you want to add some. So click that blue button, and you're going to go ahead and find the background that you created that had the transparent background from Canva. and then click next so that you can go through these 3 steps. Zoom is showing you where you are as the silhouette, and you can see the design on the screen as the overlay. So if you had put the logo on the screen and it was somewhat in the center and it was overlaying the silhouette here, that's that circle with the shape on the bottom, because that's representing you on the screen. You don't want anything either that's going to be behind your head and you're covering the text. So this is where you indicate that all placement is correct. And you'll see that also in mobile as well. And in mobile, because it's a taller screen, your overlay is going to be towards the top of the screen. And then finally, when you click next, it gives you the opportunity to name this. And so if I wanted to indicate that this was my overlay, I could give it an acronym. This name is up to me, and I'm going to see it later when I'm inside Zoom. And then you click save. Now you will be able to see the graphics that are available in your account. Most of these are colored white because you can see it in very small writing. The logo is there. And all of these with your paid Zoom account will show up inside when you're live on screen. And that's where I'm going to take you next. Right here in Zoom, I'm in a live Zoom right now. I've got my host toolbar on the screen. And what you're going to do is click right down there next to the video icon. There's an up arrow. And in the menu, you'll see right there, choose video filter. Then on this screen, you see below, there is a tab for video filters. Some are built in by Zoom and others are the ones that you loaded in. Now, as I hover over each of these, the little name pops up, like right there, it pops up on the one I just made. And when you click, it turns it on. If you want to put it back to having none, there is a box at the top left for none. The point here is that the one that you pick, if you exit Zoom, it's going to be on next time. And that might help you. You can just keep your branded logo on the screen all the time. And that's how you create your own custom filter in Canva. Easy, fun, and totally personalized for your brand or Zoom setup. And if you need more help on Zoom, just go here. I have a collective community and I teach there every week, and it's so much fun. Oh, the link is also in the description. And if you're learning here, give this video a like and definitely subscribe so that you're notified of the next video. They come out every week. See you in the next one.